How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is my blog for today. I'd like to ask you a question. Barack Obama is supposed to be the greatest speaker that ever lived. That's all we heard about throughout his campaign, how nobody has a greater oratory, makes your legs shake, makes your head bounce, it makes furniture move. This man could accomplish anything with his speeches because he's the most brilliant, most unbelievable orator of all time. People are fascinated and mesmerized by his brilliant speaking ability. So how come this man, who's the world's greatest speaker, found himself in such a hole all of a sudden in this tax bill that just came up? He was in such a hole because he was convincing all of America what a fantastic tax bill it is, and this is the greatest compromise of all time, and we must go ahead with it immediately. And as soon as he made that announcement, the whole bill started to sink. All his own party, the whole Democratic Party, everybody that loves him and was following him around like the greatest thinker speaker of all time, all of a sudden told him all kinds of vulgar names. They attacked him, they abused him. One guy was heard saying behind his back, F you him, and the other guy was saying, F you him a long time ago, and we should have F you him next week. And all these party people who loved him only 6 months ago were abusive and vulgar and crude in their attacks on him. I talk about him sometimes about his failings, but I talk about him respectfully and I identify his failings. I don't call him vulgar, vicious, abusive names. His own party people who were supposed to be so unbelievably awed by him. How come he fell apart in front of all of them, the people who are supposed to be his greatest followers? He even couldn't hold on to them. These are people who have no place else to go because there's nobody as leftist as him. And they loved him for his far left positions. All of a sudden, when even people have nobody to turn to, decided that they could live without him. And not only that, they can't stand him and they got nauseous from him. And not only that, the people on the other side of the aisle, he called them names because he didn't know who to turn to for help. So he called the Republicans fascists and hostage takers. He called his own people from his own party struggling murderers, lowlifes. He had vicious names and vulgar names to call them. They had vulgar and filthy names to call him, and he was going down the drain with the whole bill. So all of a sudden, this great speaker, who can't finish a sentence without a teleprompter, and even if he has to talk to his wife, needs a teleprompter to tell him what to say to her. Every time she says to him, I love you, before he could answer, he has to look at a teleprompter. This great speaker can't say hello without a teleprompter. If you say hello to him, he doesn't know how to answer you because he has to look for his teleprompter first to find out the answer to hello. This man all of a sudden had to turn to Clinton. President Clinton, a convicted convict. Here is what he was the only impeached or the second impeached president in the whole history of this country. A man who was attacking women all over the country. A man who raped one girl by the name of Juanita Broderick. He never even tried to defend himself against that rape charge. A man who attacked other women. That other girl, every time he saw a girl, he either abused her or attacked her or had somebody chase her down to molest her or threaten her. Girls were leaving the country to get away from him because every time somebody charged them with any kind of a rapist attack or an attempted attack, all of a sudden either they disappeared or they were found someplace in a foreign country, or their car, their tires were destroyed, or their house was burned down, or they fell apart one place or another because he was a one-man mafia who was abusing and destroying people all over the country. This convict, this impeached president, it was the only one he had to turn to for help. Imagine this great moralist who said he would bring everybody together was suddenly pulling this whole country apart. His whole campaign was built on the idea of bringing people together. We're going to bring brotherhood and love back to this country. We're going to eliminate all this partisanship and vulgarity and the venom and the hate and the hostility, and we're going to bring back unity and love. And America was again to become a unified country. We're going to work together. All of a sudden, nobody could work together. His own people who were working together, even they ran away from him. And the other side couldn't talk to him, and nobody would deal with him. And he had to run for help to an impeached president who was a convicted murderer. He was not a convicted murderer, but he almost was, because he should have been. Who knows how many crimes he committed that we never even heard about. I don't want to say anything that's not provable about Clinton, but the truth of the matter is what we do know is that this man is definitely a committed ex-convict. He is convicted of crimes and misdemeanors of different kinds at different times, and he got away with it because of the goodness of the heart of the prosecutor who didn't want to go further with it. and America's kind of a forgiveness and the spirit of forgiveness that makes him now such a popular person. Clinton now became one of the most popular people in America, and he had to turn to this popular person who's popular on the basis of convictions of different kinds of crimes all of his life. And that's who we had to turn for help. It's a sad commentary that the President of the United States, a man who was supposed to symbolize unity and brotherhood and progress on a level that we never had before, but would bring the country together, has torn this country apart to such an extent that an ex-convict had to come from nowhere to save him. Isn't this sad about Barack Obama? How sorry a state have we reached that this is the President of the United States?
Mr. Mason, I would be correct in assuming that as an artist concerned with the welfare of his fellow man, you have a vested interest in seeing judgment done in a fair and impartial manner?
Positively not.
Mason.
Look, some people are so filled with chaos, they just have to put it off on others, like him. He's a sick man.
About one angry man.
He's making a mockery of this whole system.
Jury over with his own psychology. Thank God for Jackie.
Solve the case.
He's right,
Thank you.
wrong as a
You'll
matter
blow
of
like
factly. That's right, he's never wrong. He'll make sure the guilty go to jail and the innocent go free. Some say he's tacky,
I think the man is a schmuck.
just a little too wacky. But thank God for Jackie.